What is up, guys? It is the Gallant Gamer here, but today I'm not referring to myself as the Gallant Gamer. It is a Pokemon video about the first match that I've heard about in the UCL. So, I'm referring to myself as the Gallant Gallade. But, basically, I got all of my sheets here. I have a bunch of information down, spent about 3 to 4 hours getting this all together because I really enjoy this. And the first match, if you all did not know, is between ShadyPenguinn, Mr. Penguino himself, and Sensational GP, a.k.a. David. Now, I have to admit, I am a shady person myself, but what I am a fan of even more than ShadyPenguinn is an awesome Pokemon battle. So, I have put together all of the tactics, all of the counters, all of the threats, and all of the checks to this match. And I'm going to tell them what I think would be best for them in this match to verse their opponent. Let's do this. First up, I'm going to start with ShadyPenguinn. Now, I think the main threats to you here are going to be the Slaking, the Kingdra, and the Togetic. Togetic, I will tell you why, during David's Analytics, I guess that's what Analytics? I don't know. Anyway, Slowking can be checked with your wild card. Now you're so lucky that you picked up this Mew, because Mew, like you said in your video, can be literally anything. But what you need it to be in this match, at least one part of it. The other part, you can do whatever you want, defense-wise or attack-wise, I don't care, but you need this Mew to be special attacker. Because Landorus and Mega Pinsir are both physical attackers, and those are your other Pokemon that are going to lead the field, right? So, your other one has to be special attacking because it's probably going to be your best special attacking Mon with the coverage that it can get. It can learn literally any TM. So, the moveset that I put together is Ice Beam, Scald, Dark Pulse, possibly Dragon Pulse. That's up in the air. The last move you can really depend on yourself. I just said Dragon Pulse because of the Kingdra. Now, Mew, again, if you made the Mew especially defensive as well, then it could stand up to that Kingdra really good with that D-Pulse. But the Dark Pulse hits the Doublade when I think the only other Pokemon that you really have to hit it is your Infernape with Overheat, because Doublade has sky high, I believe 150 defense, could be 140, I could be wrong about that. So Landorus would be good for about a 2-hit KO on it, possibly. Well, no, because then it's going to have the Eviolite as well, so it might not even be a 2-hit KO, even with a Choice Band. But Mew is going to be amazing for you. Really good mind games. The Kingdra, on the other hand, is going to be handled most likely by your Blissey. This is why I say D-Pulse is up in the air, because you have Blissey to handle a Kingdra, which is most likely going to be special defensive. Now, the reason for this is that Kingdra's base HP is its lowest stat, going at 75, and Seismic Toss takes about 6 hits, because it's around 300 HP at, I believe, no, it won't be around 300 HP, because it's not level 100. So, would it? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I came unprepared. No, but I assume, let's just say that it would be at 300 HP. Okay? Let's just say that, even though it's probably going to be around 150. it'll take only, 150. It'll take only 3 hits from Seismic Toss to get that Kingdra down, and you can eat up any special attacking hit that it throws at you. So, that's why I say Blissey would probably be, most likely, your biggest candidate for taking down that Kingdra. Togetic, your only way to take down that Togetic in 2 hits is with your Landorus. So you cannot lose that Landorus. Togetic with Eviolite, and I did all the calculations. I went on Pokemon Showdown and let the calc do the work on there. It is a, I believe, 0.4 or 4.0 chance to do a 2-hit KO with a Stone Edge from a Landorus with Choice Band. So that Togetic is going to be extremely, extremely bulky. Oh my god, so bulky. All the bulk. And I know I said I'd warn you about it when David's analytics came up, but I'm just going to say it right now. If David does what I personally would suggest him to do, again, you guys don't have to do any of this. This is all just me trying to have some fun with it and kind of interact with it as well. Get some fan interaction in here. But David could very possibly, instead of Trick Room, which your Regirock could take advantage of very, very much, he could do Tailwind with his Togetic. And it's, in my opinion, way better than Trick Room because he has a Mega Gallade right there just waiting for that double speed boost with the Tailwind that he could set up with if he switches into one of your Mons. Like Landorus. He switches Gallade into your Landorus after you take out the Togetic and the Tailwind is up. You have to switch out your Landorus because you don't know if he's going to be packing Ice Punch or not. So, he has 3 potential sweepers, at least 3 potential sweepers in the wings. 2 of which being his Superior and his Mega Gallade. And with that Tailwind, they would have everything that they need to set up and sweep your entire team. But you have a check for his Superior. I don't know why I couldn't come up with a name. Superior is like one of my favorite Pokemon. You have a check for his Superior, and that's your Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir, you can't lose that before you get rid of his Superior. Because it's really key, right? And even if he doesn't have the Tailwind up and you send out your Mega Pinsir, you could Quick Attack, but you have no idea if that's going to take it out or not. It probably will, but I didn't run calcs on that, to be honest, and I'm ashamed of myself for that, and I apologize. But that Superior, basically any of his sweepers are a huge, huge threat. Another thing that I want to take care of is not just the Mew's moveset. Oh, I thought I had other movesets on here. Nope. Okay. So your team, from what I'm thinking, could be Mega Pinsir, a wall to Superior, who can set up with Contrary, Leaf Storm, and if the Tailwind is up, then that's Dunzo Funzo, if you don't have your Mega Pinsir. Landorus T, because it's super effective against 8 Pokemon. 8 of his Mons on his team. It is super effective against the Tyranitar. It is super effective against the Doublade. It is super effective against the Togetic, the Tyrantrum, the Avalugg, the Murkrow, and the Electivire. That's 7. Did I miss one? I think I missed one. And the Superior and the Slowking with the U-turn. So that's 9. Landorus is definitely going to be doing some work in this battle for you. The next Pokemon in your party that I think you have, the 3rd edition, should be Mew. Again, you need that special coverage, and you need those mind games to kind of throw them off and wonder if you're actually going to have that special coverage, or if you're going to have physical, or if it's just going to be a defensive or special defensive wall. You never know. Next one is Regirock. Regirock because, in case, like I said, in case he runs Trick Room, which he said he might do in his video, because he has that 18 base speed Avalugg, he has that 35 base speed Slowking, and he has that like 35 base speed Doublade. He has a bunch of Slowpokes. A bunch of Slowpokes. I can't believe that I just said that on accident. He has a bunch of slow Pokemon, so your Regirock could come in handy if he actually does throw out that Trick Room. But it's also a physical defensive wall, and you're going to need that physical defensive wall because nothing else on your team really wants to take a physical attack that I think would be really good for this battle, except for the Lando. Maybe the Lando, but that's about it. So Regirock is also going to be a key factor into you possibly winning this match. Infernape, possibly one of the biggest factors, possibly the biggest factor here, because it checks his Tyranitar, it checks his Superior, it checks his Doublade, it checks his Exploud, it checks his Tyrantrum, and it checks his Avalugg. Avalugg is going to be coming because of that Landorus. The Exploud and the Tyrantrum I don't see coming this round, I don't think. Tyranitar, that was one of his top picks, so I could see that coming this time around. Superior, again, one of his top picks, one of his sweepers. I could possibly see it coming around this round. And the Doublade, very, very high defense. I don't know if he's going to bring that because he does have his Avalugg this time around, so that's a little bit up in the air. But it checks way too many Pokemon for you to leave it out. And the last Pokemon that I think you should bring is Blissey. Solely because it is a special defensive wall. Like you said in your video, it's possibly your only special defensive wall at all now that I look at it. Girder, possibly, but I don't think bringing Girder and Infernape in the same match is really necessary in this particular sense, because really I don't see much that Girder can add to this fight that Infernape will not be able to. After all, I just listed off six pokes that Infernape could cover, and Girder could only cover 4 of those pokes. So I think that Blissey would be a really good special defensive wall, and one that you will definitely need. As for individual pokes, I don't have much here for that. I just have Regirock has a major Slowking weakness. Again, you're going to need that, I guess, the Landorus and the Mega Pinsir to kind of check that Slowking and scare him out. I don't see... Oh, the Blissey. The Blissey could check the Slowking out too, because it's a very specially defensive Pokemon, and that's what Slowking is. He's a special attacker. And the Blissey will have that Seismic Toss. So, well, I think it should have that Seismic Toss. And the Infernape possibly mixed for the Avalugg and the Doublade. If you want to bring Overheat, mix special and physical attack, because of course you got the Mach Punch and you got the close combat that you can teach it. But I see Overheat doing a lot of work in this particular match. But that's about it for this. I mean, all that's left is Landorus T has a major Avalugg weakness, and I already stated all the things that could take care of Avalugg, so yeah. Now we're going to move on to David. Now, David, your win here, I think, is going to consist of you making the perfect counterplays, because Shady may not have sweepers per se, but he does have all the momentum in this match, because you have a bunch of walls, and even though you have sweepers, if you don't get that tailwind up, then your sweepers can't sweep, because his Pokemon are very fast. He has some very fast pokes in there. He has Mew, base 100, Landorus, base 110, I think. Mega Pinsir, doesn't matter. It has Quick Attack. He has Jolteon. Shifttree's pretty fast. He has just... And Infernape is, I think, base 90 or something like that. So he has some really fast pokes on his team. So getting that Tailwind up, I think, is really going to help you, not just with your slow Pokemon, but with your actual, like, you know, reasonably fast Pokemon too, like Superior and Mega Gallade. As I said before, when I was doing Shady's analytics, they can easily sweep if you get that Tailwind up, because they'll be faster than pretty much anything on the field. If you bring out your Superior, the Tailwind's up, he can outspeed the Jolteon. But I'm gonna get into the movesets first, because I have 3 individual pokes that I think should have these specific movesets for this certain specific battle. Because of everything that I just said about Shady's, you're probably gonna want to run for the Togetic Defog, as you said, for the rocks, if you want. Because you don't really have all that much of a rock weakness. Avalugg is a big rock weakness, and so is Togetic, but other than that, I don't see much of a rock weakness on here. Tyranitar, it won't do much to him, or Mega Gallade, or Doublade, or Tyrantrum. So, Defog is iffy. I guess you'd probably want to run it for the Avalugg. You'd want to run Tailwind, definitely. Because, like I said, Tailwind, in my opinion, is much more reliable than Trick Room will ever be in this case. Soft Boiled, I say, instead of Roost, because your Togetic is really your only safe switch-in to an EQ from a Lando. Because it's part flying. So, Soft Boiled doesn't get rid of your flying type, and it'll still let you heal up 50 of your HP. The last one, Seismic Toss, because it is a very bulky mon, and you will be able to get those 50s off one after the other, and I think that's also going to be very crucial. Your Superior, its note for that is just it's walled by Mega Pinsir. As I said before, you're going to have to take out that Mega Pinsir before you even think about breaking out that Superior. Mega Gallade, I would run, since I suggested the Tailwind, which would give it the speed that it needs, I don't think that it will be necessary to run Shadow Sneak, because it will have that speed. I think the only thing that you'll have to worry about is Mega Pinsir for your Mega Gallade, because that Mega Pinsir is really going to do work with that Quick Attack that's going to turn into a flying type attack. I believe that's its ability, and that's going to be super effective and basically bop your Mega Gallade right there. But for Mega Gallade, I put down Swords Dance to set up because this is how I imagine the first turn's going. Lando is a very popular lead, and it's the best thing that he has for your Togetic. So Togetic is your best lead, I think. Togetic is your best lead by far, because it can take 2 hits from I almost said a Mega Lando. It can take 2 hits from a Choice Banded Lando, and anything else that he has, it's going to be like a 4-hit KO. So, you lead with your Togetic. He leads with his Lando. He goes for a Stone Edge. You live on about 50%, and you go for the Tailwind. Next turn, you switch out to your Gallade. He hits you with the Stone Edge, but it's not going to do much, obviously, because it's resisted. You Mega Evolve. He doesn't know if you have Ice Punch. He has to withdraw his Lando, at which point you'll be able to get up a free Swords Dance, and you'll be at double speed +2 attack. You will basically have the momentum from there on out. That is kind of what I imagine the first turn going as. Because he can't do anything else to your Togetic. He can't do anything else to it. Because you have Soft Boiled, and that's basically going to come in very, very handy. So, Swords Dance, Drain Punch again, because I don't believe you'll need close combat. I don't believe you will, because you'll have that +2 up. Zen Headbutt, because it's a better choice than Psycho Cut. I wish it wasn't. I wish Psycho Cut was better. Why couldn't Psycho Cut be better? Psycho Cut looks so cool. Zen Headbutt has that chance of flinching. And then the last one, here's where the mind games come in. You can either have Ice Punch to counter that Lando, or you can have Knockoff. And whatever, if you scare him out of the Lando with the Ice Punch, he's going to have to actually go out anyway, because he's going to be choiced into Stone Edge. Either way, even if whether he's Choice Scarfed, Choice Banded, he's going to be choiced into it. So, when he switches out, you can either get the +2 up. No, you do get the +2 up, because the next Pokemon won't outspeed anyway, unless it's Mega Pinsir. I didn't think of that. You'll have to make a choice. When he withdraws Lando, he's probably going to bring out Mega Pinsir, because that is the best thing that he can do against your Mega Gallade, because I'm pretty sure he can one-shot you with a Quick Attack from a Mega Pinsir. So, you have 3 choices, really. You can Swords Dance, you can knock off the incoming Pokemon that's coming in, although that'll be kind of useless against Pinsir, because he's going to have the Mega Stone. Or you can go for the Zen Headbutt and get as much damage off as you possibly can. So that's going to be your big... These are going to be the choices that, make or break this game. Avalugg, I think, should have the moveset of Rapid Spin for the rocks. No. If you either have Defog on Togetic or Rapid Spin on Avalugg, you don't need both. You do not need both, because his priority is not going to be setting up the rocks. I'll tell you that right now. You do not have enough Pokemon that are weak to it that he'll care for enough to set up rocks. So either have Defog or Rapid Spin, don't have both. If it learns it, you could teach Avalugg Explosion. Who knows? That would be hilarious. Shady, please, if you make your Mew physical, give it Explosion. Explosion Mew. Alright, so Avalugg could have Rapid Spin, Avalanche, of course, for the Lando, and because it's stab and attack high, sky high. Recover, because you want that recovery for the Avalugg. You have sky high defense. I don't know why you wouldn't have recover on it. And Earthquake, because it's base 100 and it pretty much hits everything that ice doesn't. Like, because ice hits flying, ice hits grass, ice hits I forget what else. Sorry, don't crucify me. But your main threats are going to be the Landorus, which you have the Avalugg for, because it can take 3 hits from a Lando. It can take 2 hits. It goes out on the 3rd one, I think. Avalugg, Slowking, if you pack the Ice Beam on your Slowking, because the Lando is a huge threat to your team. As I said before, it can easily take out 9 of your Pokemon. Easily. So, you can do that. And your Gallade. Again, because of the mind games. Ice Punch or Knockoff. Ice Punch, Knockoff. Ice Punch, Knockoff. Ice Punch, Knockoff. He'll never know. Another big threat is the Infernape, as I stated before. You have your Kingdra to kind of counter that, because I don't see the Infernape doing a lot to your Kingdra. He obviously can't use Overheat, and a Mach Punch or a Close Combat is going to do a decent amount, but it's going to lower his defenses. In turn, you will use either, I guess, Hydro Pump or Waterfall, depending on what set you run. Physical with Life Orb, or I believe it's not Scope Lens. I forget what it is. The item that raises critical hit ratio with Hydro Pump. So, and then his Infernape would be dead. So he's going to have to want to switch out against your Kingdra. And again, your Slowking with the Scald is also a very good hit for that. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I messed up my mic there for a second. By the way, I forgot to mention, Shady, your Mew with the Scald, super effective against the Avalugg. Just saying. But speaking of Mew, it's a really big threat that no one can ever have an answer for. I'm sorry, David, but you just got stuck with the short end of the straw here. Because Mew can be literally anything. Max Special D, Max D. Max Special D, Max HP, Max Defense, Max HP, Max Attack, Max Special Attack, Max Speed, Max Attack, Max Special Attack, Max Speed. Who knows? Okay, who knows? That's why I think your best bet against that Mew would be if you had a Mega Gallade with Knockoff. That's really the only thing that I can truly see being really good against that Mew. But, you know, I can't help you out with that. So, in the end, I think your team should be Avalugg for the Mega Pinsir, which is going to be flying types, which you can Avalanche, and you can definitely take a few hits from a Mega Pinsir. The Landorus, which you can take 2 hits from, 3rd hit's going to take you out, but if your Avalanche connects, the Pinsir's going to be dead anyway, and because it's a defensive wall. You need a defensive wall. Slowking for the special defensive wall, and because it walls Infernape. Infernape can do literally nothing to Slowking. Literally nothing. It resists both its stabs, so whenever he sends out Infernape, feel free to send out Slowking. Togetic, because you need that Tailwind. You need it to win this match. Without the Tailwind, you don't have any momentum at all, because most to all his Mons are faster than you. And if you set up the Trick Room, he can send out Regirock and start sweeping your team with Regirock, because Regirock has sky-high attack. So, I just see Tailwind being really good for you in this match. Mega Gallade is my 4th pick for your team, because he's a safe switch in to a Stone Edge Lando when you switch it out from your Togetic in that inevitable swap that you guys are going to have, and he's a sweeper. Swords Dance up, it's done. Kingdra, because of the mind games. Physical or special, you can choose whichever one. He won't know until you use a move. Kingdra is your Mew. Kingdra is your Mew. And number 6, even though I have not said a word about him yet, and it's going to surprise you, it is Electivire. I say Electivire because it checks the Mega... It doesn't check the Mega Pinsir. Scratch that. Mega Pinsir, I keep forgetting his normal type attacks turn into flying. Doesn't check the Mega Pinsir. But it checks the Shiftry. It checks the Skuntank. It checks the Jolteon. It checks the Blissey. And it checks the Milotic. Blissey and Milotic are two amazing things to check. So is Jolteon, actually. Earthquake against a Jolteon. Drain Punch, or whatever fighting type move it gets against the Blissey. Thunder Punch against the Milotic. It's way too much coverage to pass up. But I think that about does it for this. I gave my thoughts. I want this to be a really, really, really good match. I think everyone in this league is an amazing battler. They each have their own unique style, and if any of you guys wants me, any of the fans or any of the competitors want me to do analytics on their matches, send me the people that you're facing, or send me the match that's going to happen, and I'll be able to look up their video. Well, most of them. Some of them didn't put videos on YouTube of their teams, so I can't really analyze all of them. But if you leave the Pokemon in the comments if they didn't make a video, I'll be more than happy to give analytics on that match. But if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you want to see more by me, hit that subscribe button. But even more so than that, guys, be sure to stay gallant.